Welcome to this installment of Creative Cabin Fever. On today's show, I have The Elephant Room. So I've been doing this whole thing where I'm listening to bands and getting into their music, and I really like you. You're kind of grungy and funky, and I like that a lot. The song that resonates for me right now in the lockdown is obviously Stuck Together, because, you know, if you're in the wrong house, kind of. But I really like Philly Pop, so that would be my favorite of your songs that I was able to listen to. So well done on those. I think they're really interesting, and I really enjoyed having them. And I'm so happy you reached out for an interview, and obviously Frank, that you've been watching them. So guys, introduce yourselves.
Yeah, I'm Frank. I am the main songwriter and singer and guitar player. And yeah, thanks a million for having us. Thanks for the Philip Off is like the one that we're still kind of half pushing at the moment. So thanks for pointing that one out, because that's probably our most accessible in lots of ways. I think that's kind of why we were happy that came out at the beginning of lockdown, because I think it's a good way to get into us and ease you into the rest of a bit more dissonant stuff.
It's your gateway.
Yeah, it's it's the gateway drug into the Elephant Room.
Classic. I'm Shane and I play bass in the band. Keep it short and sweet.
And I'm Ian. I'm the drummer. And yeah, like Shane, short and sweet.
Look, guys, I'm just happy to meet you all. So thanks very much for coming on the show. I'm curious, how's life in lockdown been for you guys?
Different in terms of the band, definitely, because we were used to playing maybe once or twice a month, depending on the time of year, and we would practice maybe like once a week. And myself and Shane live in Dublin, but Ian travels down from Louth to play with us. So it was kind of like a ritual thing that we'd meet up maybe every Friday or Saturday to play. So that's completely been halted for the last few months, which I think a lot of bands are experiencing, just not being able to actually physically meet and see each other. Like we put out the song Philip Off. I think it was April, wasn't it? The very beginning of
just before lockdown, yeah.
So like that was kind of a blessing that we had that recorded, and we're able to be present when there's no gigs and stuff. But yeah, apart from doing like actually going out and doing things, it feels like it's kind of taken a big halt, that you're just kind of a virtual band, just kind of trying to put out content and exist through Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah,
which is a good thing as well. It's kind of like, it's obviously that's how you get noticed a lot of the time. Like there's a hell of a lot more people on the internet than there is in a room in front of you when you play a gig. But in terms of personally really enjoying, like we all just enjoy being together and playing music and stuff like that, and having a crowd. So that has been a massive change, which will hopefully change within the next month.
Like it's so weird to not have that thing to look forward to at the end of the week when you're in work or something like that, when, you know, we're going to go meet up with the lads, play some music or have a gig, have a few drinks. You know, it's weird that that's been just taken away now. Still though, we're getting to what I like about the lockdown, I suppose, is that it's kind of a chance to kind of look at different things, learn a new skill. You know, we're still playing music. I've been playing bass pretty much every chance I can get. Frank has been learning how to edit videos, and I'm sure he's been really frustrated about that. Ian puts out his weekly Guess the Song by playing drums, and he plays the drums to a song on Instagram and gets people to guess what it is. Trying to keep active and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, like I think it's a perfect time to review our online presence, you know, really get stuff out there.
Yeah, I think we've always slightly lacked that. We always thought if we play loads and practice loads and do as many gigs as we possibly can, then, you know, you'll get your name out there and stuff like that. But I think with this happening, it's kind of like, okay, what? We really have to do that whole online thing a lot better now. And really figure out Spotify and playlists and just being kind of omnipresent in social media, basically, which is easy to ignore when you kind of think, gosh, we're busy, we're playing gigs all the time, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Like, I recently had a conversation with someone in a local band and they were like, no, we don't really need to do anything online. Things are going well. And I was like, yeah, but realistically, you have no idea before when you're going to be able to do what you used to do again. So my recommendation would be that maybe you look at that realistically instead of, you know.
But it's a good chance, like we've been thinking of it, of like a way you get to know like your friends, to get you to know you, your sense of humor. We don't necessarily just put up our music, listen to our music constantly on social media. It's funny videos, just things like that, just that catch our eye, you know, so hopefully more people kind of like go, oh, I like them, they're good, you know, I'm interested in them now, I'll listen to their music, you know.
I think it's the weird phenomena of social media and stuff like that. Obviously, bands back in the 60s and 90s and different times always had like kind of an air of mystery to them. And that was like, because they didn't have this kind of oversaturation of videos and stuff, but like the benefit to the social media thing is that you can really build like cults of personality, and you can be in lots of things. You can be like if you look at a band like King Gizzard or like Mac DeMarco or something like that, they have fans, they can put out so much content that some people can only like their videos, or some people can only like their interviews. And that's pretty, like, that's one of the cool things about it. There's no like, you have to do this to make it. So you can literally just put out, you can be like a comedy thing as well as being really serious. So you can do everything.
Yeah, I'm such a strong believer in just be yourself because everyone else is taken. And I just take such an aversion to anyone who thinks they have to hide who they are in their music in order to get like where they need to be. Like, effectively, you're selling your soul. Like, I'd rather everyone show their actual magic. And I'm all about supporting everyone while they're doing that, and everyone should be helping each other. So platforms like this and being able to showcase the magic of each band, that's the thing. I actually saw Mac DeMarco back in January or December up in Dublin.
Oh, the Vicar Street gig.
Yeah.
We were at that.
We were at it.
No way!
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What
100%.
side were you at?
We were on the far side, on the upper deck on the far side. So the opposite side to where he staged Dove. You know, the opposite balcony that he climbed up, remember?
I was right under him as he stayed. He literally, like, I was able to touch his feet when he was doing like the, you know, when he came back down off that balcony. Like, that's where I was.
The funniest thing about that was the bouncer being like, no, come on. And then he was just like, no, I'm getting down. I'm getting down. He was like, it's fine, go away. That was the best thing. I filmed all of it. I have it somewhere on my phone, like the whole thing. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's on my Instagram as well, because we were so close, like touching his feet, like, and I kind of only knew his music, and it was such a weird thing. I was in Waterford and I was helping set up for a music video for one of the bands that I love down here, because I was doing a charity event, and I got a random text going, do you want to go to Mac DeMarco? And I was like, yeah. And I literally just got in a car and I got driven up to Dublin to stay with, like, it was so cool.
Had you not seen any of his live stuff before?
Never.
That's what I love about Mac DeMarco, is like his music is so relaxed and kind of somber, and then you see him playing live and it's like going to a punk show. It's like, what the fuck?
I was in a spiral pit. I haven't been in a spiral pit since Download 10 years ago when Slipknot were slaying it. Like,
do you remember what song he was playing when he was stage diving? It was Tequila. Like, you know, the band just kept playing Tequila for about 20 minutes while he did all of that. Like, you know.
Oh, lads, I miss gigs so much. This is such a cool conversation.
Yeah, stop.
Okay, so what other gig memories do you have? Like, maybe I was there too. This is so cool.
What gigs had I been to just before this happened? We went to see King Gizzard. Well, actually, no, I went to a few gigs in Berlin. I went to 3 gigs in 4 nights in Berlin. I went to see King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, which was crazy. It was like the most well-behaved, heavy show I've ever been to, because they just released Infest the Rat's Nest, which is like the heavy metal type album, and yeah, so I don't know, the German crowds are just funny because they're all moshing really politely. Everyone was going absolutely crazy, but it was like you could still like completely walk through the mosh pit to go to the bar.
I know someone who went to see them in London, the same tour.
Yeah, I'd go see them every date if I had
And they
the
were
time.
meant to be playing Waterford in August.
Yeah, I really wanted to go to that altogether now, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a ridiculous lineup. That was like best lineup of the year, I think. Next year.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait.
I'm still recovering from sunstroke, and obviously, Ian, you're wearing a Meat Puppets t-shirt. Like, I'm just like, how did I get to miss a festival I've been like faithfully dreaming about for 15 years, and it happens, and then it's ripped away from me.
It is shocking. It's just awful. Yeah, I really hope it'll be back. Like even you know, Ozzy Osbourne. He's meant to be playing in November, but like I was meant to go and see him back in, I think it was 2019, and he broke his leg or his ankle or something. So he couldn't make that. He was meant to play earlier this year. Couldn't make that either. I think he had like a normal influenza or something. And now it's been postponed to November. And, you know, I don't know if that'll happen. Like, so
Yeah.
I really hope to see him before he before he kicks the bucket.
The thing is, we'll appreciate it all the more when everything is back, you know. The next time you're at a gig, or the next time you're in the pub or something like that, you know.
Yeah, what was the last gig you were at? Because mine was obviously Vernon Jane. I like my Easter egg too.
Yeah.
When was that Vernon Jane gig actually?
It was March 8th or 9th.
In Whelan's?
No, it was in, what's the name of that venue in Dublin? The Academy?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember they played that. I wasn't at that one. Me and Shane went to see them in Whelan's.
Yeah, I can't remember when that was. I can't remember the last time I've been out of the house, let alone to a gig. So,
yeah. What was the last gig I was at? I think it was a local gig. I think I went to see Aoife Wolf in Whelan's. And she played. No, sorry, I went to see Nice Try. If you've heard of them, the Dublin band.
No.
They played in Bloody Mary's.
Oh, that is such a nice pub.
It was my first time there, and I was like, "This is like the coolest pub ever. We need to get a gig here, and I need to start coming to lots more gigs." And then like a week later, lockdown happened.
yeah.
That was really packed as well, and that's is because the lockdowns were kind of kicking in, like in Italy and stuff like that. And it felt like it obviously wasn't going to happen here. You know, I'm at a full packed gig, and then literally a week later, it's just everything's gone. We had a gig lined up for the 14th of March.
Yeah, I had the drum kit up in Dublin ready to go.
Yeah.
I had an event planned for the 14th of March called Steak and DJ Day. It was a play on words because, you know, usually the 14th of March is Steak and Blowjob Day.
I saw that advertised.
Yeah. I came up with this conceptual idea that I could run a DJ and food night to raise awareness of male mental health and male struggles in this modern age, and try and make it a celebration for men. And it was going to be phenomenal. Like, I was on News Talk about it and everything. And then same as you, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have an option? Like, could you have gone ahead with it maybe?
No, we made a very conscious decision. The venue is still running, like it's a really, really prominent restaurant in Waterford. So when the announcement was made, we spent the whole entire day just looking at the situation that was at hand. So obviously that was on the 12th, the announcement was made. I watched, like, lads, I was bawling. Like, I spent 4 months of my life, like, I took this event so seriously that I interviewed over 45 men on the struggle of what it is to be a man. I met counselors, charities. I had 9 DJs on board. I had a restaurant that worked incredibly hard on a menu. We had so much of my own love went into this event because I believe in men's rights so strongly. Like, in all, like, in society, I think as women we often forget that, yeah, we do need to reach up and help women, but we always need to have a hand back helping the others, because the imbalance of society right now, like, it's just not right that there's an 80% male suicide rate. Like, it's just not right that there's suicide anyway, but these are obviously staggering things that are really important. And we just looked at the situation, and we decided no, because the venue's very close to the hospital. We could have done it with less people. Like, there was meant to be 140 people there, but it just didn't suit. And then we're like, we'll reschedule for a different date. And I was like, under no circumstances is this event ever to happen on a day other than March 14th, because then I'm losing my reason for doing it. Like, I've always had this adoration of the idea of March 14th and how we actually should be thanking men for all the stupid stuff they do on Valentine's Day. Like, it's perfect. It's always been my favorite day. So why would I pick a different day? Like, I'm a stand-up comedian and a food blogger on the side as well. So being able to marry all my passions in one day, to actually be able to try and show the world that we need to treat our men better, just it's what I want to do, and I don't ever want to change it. But yeah, my heart, I cried and cried and cried for 3 days. And then I got a phone call from France from an old contact who wanted me to organize his Irish tour in Ireland. And I rang him, and that's how the Creative Cabin Fever Skype interview started, because he was like, do you want to see what lockdown's like in France first? And I was like, can we make this an interview? Can I record you? And then that was the first Creative Cabin Fever.
Cool.
Well, there you go. Well, like, silver linings out of something negative, something positive. But hopefully you get to actually do that next year now, because all the work you've put into it and everything sounds brilliant. Like,
yeah, we have festival passes instead of tickets. So there's 4 different sittings, and everyone gets a different coloured lanyard. Like, the 9 DJs are all so freaking different. They've all agreed to do it next year. So I'm just hoping March 14th is still possible next year or the year after.
Yeah, you'll get it done.
Yeah, I think for, like, a lot of things that got cancelled right at the beginning was just heartbreaking, because of it's like something like on the level that what you were doing, where it was so much work on, like, grassroots basically, rather than, you know, Heineken putting on a big massive festival somewhere. They're just losing a bit of insurance money. That was like literally just like, okay, that just can't happen now, which is just like, it's completely sweeping the legs from it under so many people that were putting gigs on and livelihood tours and stuff like that. But hopefully when, like, next year rolls around, literally it was just like a pause button was kind of gets taken off, and it will just happen straight away again, that nothing has changed, hopefully.
Look, I think if we just all visualize it, like, I will eventually get to have Steak and DJ Day, right? And then you guys will be able to continue gigging, which is your love. And I will hopefully still do these interviews, because I'm enjoying the hell out of showing everyone the magic of everyone. And everything's going to be fine. And this was a great experience for me to be able to relaunch my career differently as well, you know? So
yeah, it's like a big restart button, you know? You get to sit back, look at the things that are important to you, and then take those and go forward with that. Like, you know, I think a lot of people will be changing jobs after lockdown and things like that, you know? So yeah, because it's easy to get stuck in a rut with normal day-to-day life and just continue doing the same thing over and over again. So it's kind of, I've been trying to look at the positive for this whole thing the whole time, you know? So yeah, that's my kind of thing.
Yeah, I think one of the cool things I've seen is that people that have been not working or something like that, like, I have so many friends that, like, going through school, we all played music and listened to music, and then they went to college and stopped playing music and just became whatever they became, which is, could be something quite boring or just a living. And then they're sitting at home, they're just like, oh, I started playing guitar again, I started playing piano again, here's a new song I made. It's just like, that's cool. That's like, I didn't think you probably wouldn't have ever played music again, but now you're sitting home twiddling your thumbs and you're like, actually, yeah, that's what do I like doing? I'm just going to do that all the time now.
Yeah, it's like who am I?
Yeah. To reconnect with the things
Yeah.
I like doing rather than running around like a headless chicken all the time, which is cool to see.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's after giving me so much passion and drive. I'm writing poetry again. I'm writing my comedy all the time. I got a steel tongue drum actually with the money I got back from fucking Sunstroke. I was like, I can't go to the music. I'll bring the music to me. So what's your lockdown jam then? Like, obviously, I'm just losing myself in the industry as a whole, mostly concentrating on Ireland, but I'm really interested in getting music given to me so that I can go down another rabbit hole. So who is your...
Ooh, big question.
How long do you have?
Look, I'm pretty much booked up for you guys for today. Like, I've cut the interviews down. So
Right.
it can be your Shane if you want.
Yeah.
In terms of brand new music that is just I'd never really listened to before, is stuff like strange jazz and reggae, weirdly enough, is music that I had never properly listened to. It was like atmosphere music, and like, oh yeah, that you put that on for that circumstance or something. But when you have so much time to just kind of sit back and get lost in something like, yeah, Miles Davis or something has been crazy to actually discover, and like weird reggae drum and bass stuff. Sounds really pretentious to be going like, oh, I'm listening to everything, but it is actually bizarre because like you listen to the stuff you like so often, and now when you really have the time on your hands, you're just like, here, I'm gonna. Miles Davis seemed like work before. You're like, the little gap I have to listen to music, I'll just listen to what I really like, and then you're just like, I'll try this 7-hour long Miles Davis jam. Bitches Brew or something like that, which goes on for 50 minutes. So yeah, learning to appreciate that was pretty cool.
I've been listening to Soccer Mommy a lot. Their newest album is just really good. Just can't fault a single song on it. So just been doing that a lot. We actually kind of the three of us are in a WhatsApp group that kind of I started a while ago. We call it Record Club. So every month we'll send 4 songs into the WhatsApp group, and I'll make a playlist out of it so that there's 20-25 songs on it. And then that's like, it's kind of like, what have you been listening to for the last month? They send it on. I should get it copyrighted because people are going to start stealing that now. But but no, it's really fun. It's a good way for us because a lot of our friends are in different countries, even in different counties. So it's a good way to still stay connected and also share music. And I get a playlist of songs I mightn't necessarily listen to. And then you kind of go down the rabbit hole with a band, you know what I mean? So that's just something that we kind of do anyway. So it's kind of something that we've been doing. I've found more time to actually put in effort into it now to actually have 4 songs and stuff like that, you know?
I love that idea. I'm actually part of a Facebook, or actually several Facebook groups where they're like basically lockdown, share your music.
Yeah.
A lot of it's stuff you already know, but like in the past, like I would have had these traditions with several of my boyfriends where we would agree that we would buy each other like either a CD or a vinyl once a month to show each other new music. And then in the modern age, that turned into like me sharing playlists with people, which is not really the same thing as a mixtape. But
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
The romance is gone.
But yeah, no, it's definitely a good way to just kind of stay connected and still get to listen to loads of music. One thing, like when I started, I was like, just put in the 4 songs you've listened to the most. So like you were saying, there's some stuff you might have heard before, but then like, you know, it might be, Frank might put in Smells Like Teen Spirit. And it's like, of course you've heard that a million times, but it's a chance to stop and actually listen to it again and reconnect with it. You know what I mean? It's something that you mightn't have listened to in ages, you know?
I think with me, definitely the record club is absolutely fantastic for getting into music you mightn't necessarily have put time into before, you know. But a big thing for me with this lockdown is kind of rediscovering my vinyls. It's like I collect an awful lot of vinyls, bit like yourself, Frank. You know, myself and yourself trade different things, you know, ideas and that with vinyls. But yeah, I've really explored the vinyls again, like because I mean, I work up in Dublin, and you know, you'd have a 2 hour plus commute round trip every day, and by the time you get home, you have your dinner. It's nearly fucking bed, you know. But the amount of time I have now working from home, like when you're finished, you have all this acres of time, play a bit of drums, listen to vinyl. But yeah, no, it's great for that. Great for the vinyl listening again.
Ian always has the strangest mix of songs every
Yeah.
month. Ian always has like something psychedelic, then some old country, and then like you know, it's always weird.
A lot of it's dictated with the vinyl listening.
I'm actually when I'm finished doing this interview, I'm actually taking a break. I received 2 Calva Louise vinyls. Like I interviewed them 2 weeks ago, and I'm a massive fan. And I was like, okay, give them a bone back. So I've just been buying their merch like it's going out of fashion. Like, thanks so much for supporting my thing. Okay, I'll buy 2 t-shirts. Okay, I'll buy 2 vinyl. But now I'm like, I cannot wait to sit down and listen to all of this again in vinyl in its proper shape and the way it should be listened to, just like this. Like, guys,
Yeah.
if you're buying anything, like 2020, definitely the best album. Like, and you need to listen to it in that format, because if you press shuffle play, it just screws up the whole experience. Is just not worthwhile.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there's something to be said about vinyl. Just like the sound quality obviously is just warm and gorgeous, but just like you're stuck with it. We're so like, even I am like a massive music fan that always tries to discipline myself, but even I get halfway through a song sometimes and just like on autopilot start clicking. Just when you put a vinyl on, you're just like, you've no choice. It's just technology being like, no, you have to listen to this.
Mm.
And you have to, like, you will like it then, because like if you listen to it digitally, you'll get distracted by the third song and start doing something else. And find
And
you're stuck with it.
in the order that the artist intended you to listen to it in and everything like that. So
Exactly.
yeah.
It's the number one format for immersing yourself in an album. It really is.
You get an idea of like, there's a reason that an artist like Vernon Jane or someone labored for hours and evenings and days to get it to be in that sequence. So
Like Spotify is brilliant, but like sometimes that's what you miss, is that actually holding it in your hands. Like,
Oh, I love that.
white as well. Nice.
Nice.
I know, it looks so innocent.
So pure.
When the lyrics start.
Like, it's in 4 parts, and it's a concept album. Like, lads, it's flawless. Like, I need to stop talking about it.
A new toy.
oh, be careful.
It wants you to play it.
This is it. Give up on this and play.
There we go. I saved myself from disaster.
Yeah, vinyl is something we need to look into in the future. Actually, we've done T-shirts and we're planning to do that again soon, because it's something that I think is really cool about the lockdown, is that, you know, Bandcamp getting rid of the commission fees and all that sort of stuff, and yeah, it's a brilliant way to keep artists afloat with the merchandise sales and stuff like that. It's really cool to see. I bought a few things. I bought the Anna Birch's new album. I was supposed to go see her on the 15th of May. She was supposed to play in the Soundhouse, and I was planning to buy her vinyl on the night, and of course that got cancelled, so I immediately went onto her website and got it. So that's what I say. It's like, rather than spending the money to go see her and stuff like that, I still might as well spend it and give it to her and get the vinyl and get the T-shirts and everything that she has on offer. So
All the Anna Birch merch.
why doesn't she utilize that more?
Yeah, she should.
My tagline is captivities. Like the Viking Pact is to buy 3 captivities a week, and I've been doing that since lockdown started. Every single week, I buy 3 items of merch from bands. Every single week.
Nice.
That's brilliant. Yeah, because that's like without gigs, they're really like through Spotify plays, you're not really getting much. You're not getting much through Bandcamp plays. Brilliant platform, obviously, to get you heard, but you're not going to get any revenue off it, really. So stuff like merchandise is massive. It's huge. With gigs gone.
Yeah. The Irish music scene needs more people like you, you know, that are kind of putting their money where their mouth is. You know, it's great to go, I listen to loads of music, I love kind of listening to local bands, but if, you know, then you go play a gig and there's 10 people in the crowd, you know,
Yeah.
it's kind of
We know that all too well.
yeah. If only it was just more people, you know, like that actually, you know, as I said, money where your mouth is kind of thing.
I call it money where my heart is. I
Yeah.
take it so seriously. Like I don't make music, but I live for it. I always have. And I think I forgot for a while. And then when I got given the company back in February, I was like shocked. Like I joined Viking back in October after taking a 6-year break from the music industry for family reasons. And I got asked, do you want to help me out? And I started helping out again. And I think he just didn't want to do it anymore. So he's like, here's a company. And I had all these plans for this year as well. And after Steak and DJ Day was done, I was just going to be full-blown Viking. Yeah. So this is how I know this is exactly what I need to be doing, because this is exactly what I need to be doing. But thank you. You know?
No, it's just refreshing, you know, to see.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, I think the unfortunate thing with Ireland sometimes is people don't know that there's so many good bands, because it's not getting like, as I said, everyone that I went to school with and I'm friends with, they're crazy into music, but they're into American music and English music and stuff. And then when you say, oh, you don't listen to any Irish bands, they go, oh, there isn't any. And you go, let me show you, here's a big list.
Yeah.
And like they're just like, wow, Jesus, they're playing in Dublin. They play Dublin regularly, and they're like, yeah, it's like there's amazing bands in Ireland. Unfortunately, they're just not getting the coverage. The
other thing is, why does everyone say there's so much good music in Dublin? I tell you now, Waterford is fucking unreal. Right? And then I've been traveling around the country. Next weekend, I'm doing a Galway special. I'm going to have the Clockworks in the Galway Street Club. Right? Galway's amazing. I'm a huge Donegal fan. Cork is unreal. Right? We need to understand that as a whole, the island is insanely good.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like I'd advocate for Wexford a lot, because I know so many of the guys down there and stuff like that, but like there's even bands that I'd be told about or listen to, and I'm just listening to them, and then I click on their bio and I'm like, geez, they're from Wexford. That's really cool. I didn't even know that, because they're younger than me or they're older than me, so I never came across them like personally. But yeah, it's everywhere. I was just using Dublin as an example, like with them playing Whelan's or whatever, but
I'm just super passionate, Frank.
But stuff like Viking is brilliant to get, because that's the thing. Sometimes people go, well, if I'm going to play a gig, I have to go to Whelan's, or I have to go to Dublin, I have to go to Workman's. But when you find out that there's like something like yourself in Waterford, you're like, oh, brilliant, I'm going to go to Waterford, and I'm going to go to that place in Clonmel, or, you know, there's so many more places that can be putting gigs on, and Dundalk, which is blowing up for some reason.
When we played in an Odd Molly's in Drogheda, you know, like a great new venue for original live music, you know.
Yeah, that was really fun.
The guy Andy up there is doing a great job.
Yeah, like the more that bands can go on full circles of the country, and the more that people, because I say, like, I know growing up in Wexford that you kind of feel like, oh, nothing happens out in Wexford, it's really boring, it's shit here and stuff like that. But when like more bands come to where you're from, then that's like something you look forward to every weekend, because there's that band from Galway coming down, or that band from Waterford coming down. So it's just like, you don't need to go to Dublin just to see it, which is yeah, something that needs to happen more.
I agree.
What places are in Waterford actually? Anyway, I haven't been to Waterford in years.
Right. So there is kind of a venue shortage, which is probably why, you know, we don't appear on the map as much. I will hopefully be using Electric Avenue. We didn't have a stage in Electric Avenue till December last, when I approached them and asked if they could build a stage so I could do a charity event for Buscade. So we have a stage now with the capacity of 250. Well, when can I use it at that capacity? When can any of us? So like, look, there's a few great art galleries down here as well that would happily work with me. There's a craft beer venue that will also be able to do certain things on a more kind of acoustic level, I guess. Yeah, there is choice, but it's just like, look, I think at this moment in time, there's no even point talking about venues or no venues, because none of us know who's going to reopen, who's not going to reopen. When we reopen, like, is social distancing still going to be in play? So if you're talking about a 250 venue, what, do you fit 40 people in there and charge them 100 quid each?
Yeah.
That's the would you nearly rather it be closed for longer and then it just be open normally? Like there's gonna be red tape immediately. That's kind of no matter when it opens, there'll be the kind of first wave of it has to only be this amount of people. Or
but I find this shocking, right? I find this shocking, right? Pubs are allowed to open, right? They're allowed to sell food, but they're not allowed to have a comedian, a DJ, or a one-piece band in the corner. There is no logic to that. That to me is just absolutely bonkers and mental. We tried to have buskers on the bandstand in Waterford a few weeks ago, and someone called the cops. Right. So
what do you have going on in your life if you're calling the guards on buskers? Like, you know,
you literally have nothing else to be doing.
Yeah.
There was no PA. There was nothing. There was just 3 guys that were going to play on the bandstand and then got announced in a big green as well. So people were socially distancing there every day anyway and gathering on this green for about 3 weeks. A local politician asked would someone like to play in it because he thought it would be a great idea. And I think it was a great idea. But the day before it had to be called off.
There's no logic or sense to that at all.
Yeah. I didn't know that about the pubs or the restaurants, that they can't have entertainment in them.
Oh, like, you'd have better crack at home.
Yeah, like.
So you can go in for 109 minutes. You have to use an app to order your food from your table if the restaurant's doing it correctly, right? You have to pay 9 quid for food. And sorry,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's obviously stepping stone, baby steps sort of thing, but it's.
Oh, and you have to give your phone number and your address to a perfect stranger. Like, I don't give my phone number. Like,
yeah, just have a pint at home.
No, like,
put on a record.
2 points.
Yeah, it just doesn't make it worth it. Like,
no.
I was in Dublin in the city yesterday evening. And to be quite honest, I thought it was actually pretty cool. There was all the pubs like had their kind of windows open, and they were serving like takeaway drinks. And everyone was just like sitting on the ground and walking around the place. I felt like I was on holidays. I didn't feel like I was in Dublin. It was really bizarre because it was like got really sunny at like 8 o'clock and warm, and then everyone was just like being really well behaved, walking around with plastic cups and just sitting on the street. And I was like, this is great. They should just close the pubs every day when the sun is out. This is amazing.
Yeah.
I felt like I was in like Berlin or something. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, I've been like, I don't drink, but I've been watching Drop Dead Twice, which would be one of my favorite venues in Dublin, and they're doing those takeaway cocktails, and I am just like, maybe they'll make me a fake one. Like,
Yeah.
you know, maybe I can just go up to Dublin for a day and I can just go to Drop Dead Twice like it's normal, and I can just get my fake cocktail and feel like a fucking hero and go drink it in the park and just be like, yeah, this is cool. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's where we had our EP launch in Drop Dead Twice. It's a really good venue. Yeah.
Unbelievable. I was there New Year's Eve. I got invited and I was going back up because obviously I'd taken such a long break from the industry, and a friend of mine was like, come up. And then a few more friends of mine were there, and I was like, this is unbelievable. Like, the best New Year's I have had, maybe the only good New Year's I have ever had. Like, so many bands were there, so many cool people. It was the perfect New Year's, and it's the perfect venue. I love it. When everything kicks back up, I cannot wait to go back. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
They always have something on as well. Like, if there's ever a night where you just want to go do something, if you check their Facebook page, there's always something there. Like, so you'll check other, like if you're just like, oh, we'll check on show or Workman or something, there might be something on that night, but there's always something on Drop Dead Twice. And it's usually free. It's usually like free in and stuff as well. So it's just like, it's a really cool little spot.
And it's so close to BIM, so you're getting like really talented up and coming acts. Like, do you know what I mean? Lads are so inventive in what they allowed to be there. Like, you had Life Drawn and Disco upstairs, while like there's singer-songwriters downstairs. Like, it is lit. Like, it's, yeah, look, I'm going to stop giving them free publicity, but I will tag
Yeah.
No, I definitely, we should look into getting in there again when they get back in full swing. So their launch was a really, really cool night in there.
Yeah, and you're about to release a song that you've already have a video out for, but on the 26th you'll be releasing that on Spotify, obviously, and then in August you're going to be releasing your EP. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, in November we recorded in Temple Bar with another Wexford man, Kieran O'Brien. It was a studio whiz kid, and we went in and recorded 4 songs with him, and we've already released 2 of them as singles, the Philip Hoff and Whoopin' Zocker, which we released in April and May, and we're just putting the 2 of them out with 2 other songs that we haven't released yet in August, which seems like a long gap now, but we just thought we'd kind of spread them out with the whole lockdown thing. You wouldn't want to release everything at once, and we said because we had videos for the first 2 songs, which we did before lockdown, so we kind of paced it out, and then we said we put the other 2 out as an EP, a collection of 4 songs. So looking forward to having them out, because it feels like we've been sitting on them waiting for them to hatch for nearly a year. So
it's the only thing that we get to have that actually classes us as a band at the moment. Like, I'm just realizing I'm so happy that we recorded all of that and did all the videos for it, because if we didn't, we'd be sitting at home now with nothing to talk about, no music. Like, would we even be a band? Like, you know what I mean? What do you do? Well, we just Zoom chat each other, you know? So, yeah.
But yeah, the song we have coming out on the 26th, next Friday, is a song I just recorded by myself at home, just kind of out of boredom when this first started, and I kind of threw it together really quickly with a video and put it up on Facebook and stuff. But I think a lot of people kind of missed it, because I don't know, I kind of just excitedly put it up, and I was like, I should probably put that on Spotify, because it's kind of it's like half about the boredom of lockdown and stuff like that, and it's it should be put into the algorithm a bit more, rather than just being lost on Facebook that one day that I put it up.
Yeah, it's such a hard time to release in. Like, it's just everyone's releasing, or people aren't releasing at all, and then you're like, oh, will I, won't I? It's tough. It's tough. So look, on the 26th, I will share your release on Viking. Just remind me to do it. We have covered a multitude in this interview today, so I'm super grateful that you reached out. This was a load of fun. Is there anything you'd like to add to the interview before I stop recording?
If you haven't heard us already, just check us out on Spotify, Instagram, Facebook. Instagram is where we mainly are for just kind of having the crack and posts and stuff. But yeah, it's music that we love doing. So it's Spotify, Bandcamp. If you just search the Elephant Room, our Spotify link is in our Instagram page. So yeah, just give us a like, listen, follow, and see what you think.
I'd also just add to that like there's a YouTube channel that has loads of music videos that we've done they're all quite funny and quirky and different. So I think it'd be worthwhile checking out if you have a spare half hour. I don't know how long it is up there, but it's worth it. Be worth checking out definitely as well.
Yeah, thanks very much for having us, Beck. It was great. It's brilliant.
Yeah, really enjoyed this.
Me too. It was great fun. Everyone should subscribe to their YouTube channel, find them on Facebook, and you should probably do the same if you're watching on their end to figure out who I am. I think I have 55 interviews up on Viking in the last 4 months, and they're all pretty interesting and different. So this one is no different to those, even though they're all completely different. So subscribe to everyone, follow everyone, support everyone, do whatever you can in this crazy time to just help the industry. And I will stop recording and we'll go back to our chat.